Welcome to Podnutz Daily for September 24th, 2008, episode number 84. Let me just start off by answering a question that Hamrad asked in the chat room just now. He says, Steve, how do you tell if a backlight in a laptop is bad? Is it discolored? Well, it may be or maybe not. You know, I haven't found exact symptoms of whether it's the inverter or the bulb. Both have shown me similar symptoms. If the bulb is out completely, you know, it's both of them can exhibit those symptoms. You're saying if it's discolored, sometimes I guess that leans more towards the bulb. I mean, I think the inverter, it's either on or off kind of thing. But like I said, the way to test it is get a screen that, you know, maybe you have a broken screen or can get a broken screen that has a good bulb. Test it in that inverter. If the inverter lights the bulb, then you know that you have then you know it's a bad bulb in the other screen. If the inverter doesn't light the bulb, then you know it's a bad inverter. So I always have like a couple spare broken LCD screens laying around that have good bulbs. This way I can test if the inverter's bad or the bulb's bad. Okay, the other day we had like the dirtiest computer we have ever had in the shop. This thing was so gross, so much dust, and it was a smoker's computer. So when there's a lot of dust into it gets into a smoker's computer, it just sticks and it kind of globs and it forms this this type of material. I don't know how to explain it. It's brown and it just sticks. It's like a dusty, sticky glob of mess. And we took our leaf blower on high speed and blew that baby out. Still could not get this wall of sticky dust off of the processor. We had to peel it off by hand. It was gross. Anyway, the leaf blower did, after some, taking some work, it did get most of the stuff out, but on the processor, forget about it. We had to get in there manually. It was so bad that you could tell what ports this customer actually had stuff plugged into, what USB ports, because they were clean. Any ports on the back that didn't have anything in them were brown. So my dad said he actually felt bad for his USB stick having to stick it in one of those ports. And those sticky brown smoker computers, they're just disgusting. Anyway, we had another computer. This is the one where the woman said her Ethernet disk blew up. Well, it turns out she meant her Ethernet card, and her Ethernet port, actually. She had an onboard Ethernet port on her motherboard and stopped working. Now, sometimes that happens with a power surge, guys. You get like a power surge, lightning surge, or something like that. It could take out your Ethernet port. I had a couple computers like this. And depending on how bad of a surge it is, it might get past the Ethernet port and do more damage on the inside of the computer. Fortunately, this just looked like it took out the Ethernet port. And we knew the Ethernet port was bad because if you start the computer up, of course you can't get on the internet or anything like that, but if you look in the device manager, the Ethernet port isn't even there. The computer doesn't even recognize that it's there. So in that case, we just put a PCI Ethernet port on the motherboard, attach it in one of the slots and just use that. But it's one thing to look out for. If you're wondering why you can't get internet, or if one of the Ethernet port's bad, look at Device Manager and see what Device Manager has to say about the issue. If it doesn't even show that the Ethernet port's there, then you know there's a problem. Good old check disk helped us again on a ThinkPad, older ThinkPad Pentium 3 that came in. It blue screened on unmountable boot device. Ran check disk /R. That baby booted right up. That's what I meant to say. Oh, God. What a day. That baby booted right up. Say that 5 times fast. I dare you. We went to upgrade some RAM on another machine here. We put okay, here's another thing. Put a stick of RAM. We wanted to upgrade RAM, like I said before. We have a stern policy now at the shop on a desktop. Somebody comes in with that desktop running XP and 256 mega RAM. Definitely highly recommend upgrading at least to 512. I find XP runs great on 512. Unless you're running McAfee Security Suite or Norton and a bunch of other stuff, 512 is great. 1 gig is super, but 512 usually gets people through for just normal use. 256, if you're running a good antivirus, usually is not enough. So we went to upgrade the RAM. I didn't have any she had 256. I didn't have another 256. We went to put 128 in, at least to give her a little bit of a boost. We turned on the computer after that. No video. It powered on, but no video, nothing. So the computer just stuck. It didn't even see the flash screen. There was no post, no nothing, just from a stick of RAM. So we put the stick of RAM out. Thing worked fine. So that stick of RAM went in the trash. And also, now we know that that is a symptom of bad RAM. Maybe you boot up the computer. You don't get any video, but the computer's on. You can hear it running. Try switching the RAM around, reseating the RAM, switching out the RAM for other RAM. That might solve your problem. Had another Avio laptop come in, could not connect to the internet, but on this one the Ethernet port was there and visible. You could tell because it had the little computer screen with a little red X down at the bottom of in the system tray there next to the clock. And when we plug in an Ethernet cord wired, we're not going wireless now. Ethernet cord wired, that little red X went away and the icon went away, which led us to believe that okay, now it's working. We still couldn't get on the internet. We did like a repair. Where you go into, like click on the wireless network and hit system. Wireless net. You go into like network settings and you right click on the network connection. And I'm just a little distracted. I see the phone ringing over there. I think that's Eric calling in. So what do we do? So we did. There's a little button that usually pops up there under properties, and you can hit repair, and it might repair your connection. That didn't work. We went to Internet Explorer and returned Internet Explorer to all the factory settings. It still didn't work. We ran WinSock XP Fix, which you could get at Major Geeks, I think, and also at Snap Files. They have it. A couple places, bunch of places probably have it. WinSock XP Fix, ran that baby, fixed it. Internet working fine. I run WinSock XP Fix a lot. It has really cured a lot. Maybe like out of 10 computers that had bad would not connect to the internet. After running WinSock XP Fix, I'd say about between 5 and 7 of them, it actually fixed that problem. Great little tool. It runs real fast too. It takes like 30 seconds to run. All right, now today I got barraged with laptop repairs. And the first one, kid brought in his computer, was drinking Lipton tea next to his laptop. He said he put the bottle down and the bottle just shattered. He said it was probably the way they were talking about it was like a defective Lipton tea bottle. And it shattered all over the laptop and iced tea got on the keyboard. Well, let's see here. So what he did was, and I don't recommend this, guys. I talked about this before. He's like, he turned it upside down, turned the power off. I think he took the battery out, and then he said he waited half an hour and tried it. I'm like, you can't wait a half an hour and try that. If you're not going to take it to a computer guy to get it fixed after you spill something in your laptop, then you got to wait at least a week. Make sure